One of the secrets to success in any area of your life is to know exactly what it is that you're striving for. Some people call this goal setting, but I prefer to call it visualization. And one of the ways that I manifest visualization is to create a vision board. Now, I do a vision board at least twice a year, and traditionally I do one in January at the beginning of the year to mark what it is that I want for the whole year. And then I'll do a check-in one, usually late June or early July. Now, I'm going to let you in on a little secret. Vision boards really do work. And if you want proof, I brought along one of my old ones today to share with you because every single thing I put on this board came to fruition. This is one that's dated on the back. I always date your vision boards, by the way, when you do these so that you can remember, because if you keep them like I do, you won't remember when you get to them and you want to reflect. The back of this one says July 1st, 2014. And this is the vision board that I would like to share with you. So I had a lot of different areas in my life that I was working on, and areas and things that I wanted to have happen. And one of those things was a television show that I was the executive producer for. It's called Fork in the Road with Sheree Clark. Now, we had done a first season and we had broken even, which was great, but making money is a better thing than breaking even. I think most of us would agree. And so my goal was for the show to make money. So I put on the vision board some little graphics of $100 bills, and I found a charm at a little hobby shop. It was on sale. And it was a graphic of a television set. So I set all those things and put them together on the vision board so that they would represent, every time I looked at it, that was what my goal was. Another thing with regard to the television show that I had as a goal, the show aired every Sunday at 11 o'clock in our local market, and I really wanted to have a presence on television during the day, during the week. And so I put on my vision board something I'd found in a magazine. It says, weekdays, check local listings. So I put that on there. And that was it. Just put it on there and kind of with kind of a kiss and a prayer kind of a thing. Other goals that were important to me had to do with my yoga practice. There were two poses in particular that I was really interested in getting better at. One of them is called wheel, and you yogis out there know what that is. And the other one that I was interested in improving on, I could already do. There's a picture of me, it's pretty dark, but you should be able to see that I'm in the pose called lotus. Now, I could already do lotus, but I was working on the pose, the more advanced stage called bound lotus. Other areas of my life that were important to me, I had lost a pet 2 years prior. It was a cat, and I found myself in a place where I wanted to replace my cat. So, and I'm partial to Maine Coons, they're a specific breed. And so I put a close-up of a cat's face. You couldn't see the breed and you couldn't see what the animal looked like. I knew that I wanted a Maine Coon, but I also didn't care what the Maine Coon looked like. All I knew was that I wanted one. All right, so you're getting the sense here. I've kind of hit the high points. There are other things on here, but I want you to I want to get to the point. I am excited to tell you that the television show not only broke even, but it did make money. And so that was the goal for that season, and we did very well. I received a call from the television station that the show aired on, and they asked me to appear every week during the weekday, which I'm still doing. And so I'm on Thursdays at 9-10 a.m. if you're in our local area. So that was another thing, check. I can now not just do wheel, I can stand up from wheel. Again, you yogis know what it is I'm saying. The bound lotus pose I have mastered, but the coolest part about all this, and the point that I want you to come away from this with, is that I received a phone call from someone who had some Maine Coon kittens and said that they had a kitten that they thought I might be interested in. And so I said, sure, give me more information, I'm interested. And so they sent me a photo. And this was the photo that they sent to me. And the photo, as you can see, has the name of the kitty on the picture, and the kitty's name was already given to him, and that name was Lotus. Now, if you've ever adopted a cat before or a dog, you know sometimes they come with a name and it's not a cute name and it's a name that you'd want to change. To me, the fact that this one came with the name Lotus and that was on my board said to me, hey. So you get the idea. Vision boards can be magical. They can be transformative. They can be wonderful things, not just because all of the things you put on there come true, but the whole process of putting them together really, to me, is where the magic lies. Because what happens for me is that I sit down to put my vision board together and I start to get real with what it is that I really want in my life. When I put this board together, I had a lot of things that were important to me, a lot of plates I was trying to spin. But because I had to put it on paper, I had to start to narrow down, and I had to start to get real and say, if you want this, you can't do this at the same time. So the process isn't just the idea of coming up with a piece of artwork. The process is the idea of getting real with yourself about what it is you're willing to, 1, manifest, and 2, work toward, and 3, be open to have happen. So how do you do a vision board? What's the plan here? It's really simple, and actually you're well advised to not make it complicated. I take mine, and you can see I clip from magazines. I end up usually shellacking mine, which doesn't make anybody with a camera than trying to take pictures of my vision board very happy, because it makes it kind of a glare. But I like to shellac it really from the idea of my philosophy is I'm sealing my goals into place. So that's kind of where I'm coming from with that. My next vision board I'm thinking about doing on this. This is a cardboard box. I like the concept of it being 3-dimensional. I'll stick to the plan of cutting from magazines because that works for me. So I sit down when I'm ready to do my vision board simply with a stack of magazines, some scissors. I'll have some tape so I can hold things into place temporarily while I decide if that's what I want on there. I use glue. Actually, this is paste, and paste works a lot better than something like Elmer's glue, which will cause some buckling. I light a candle, I might get a cup of tea, and I sit down and then I start creating my vision board. Now, some people like to create vision boards in groups and they'll have vision board parties. That's not my thing. I personally like to do mine by myself because I really get intent on it. My vision board can take me 2 or 3, sometimes 4 hours to do, but I get really intent on it and I really put a lot of kind of energy and my whole self into it. The next thing, I put the vision board in a place where I can see it every single day. For me, I have a 2-story home. I put it on the landing right at the top of the stairs so that when I go upstairs I see it, and when I go downstairs I see it. So I'm reminded of it every day. Sometimes I take a photograph of the vision board and I'll use it as a screenshot on my camera, or I'll use it as the backdrop on my the screensaver on my laptop. I think it's important to be reminded, these were my goals, these are the things that I said were important to me, these are the things that I'm working for. So I hope that you'll take some of the pointers that I've given you today and that you'll decide to do your own vision board. I think that you'll find it transformational. I think you'll find it a wonderful thing, and Lotus agrees. So please do your own vision board, make your own dreams come true. What the fork are you waiting for?